Tell me. Especially with women like you. Hey boo, what is up? So in today's video, we are doing another simple, beginner-friendly, natural makeup tutorial. We're going to be playing with new complexion products today. And if you watch my makeup videos, you already know that I love to just focus on getting down that base really pretty and really nice. Concealers are my favorite makeup product, and I love just really working on and perfecting and getting the base to look as beautiful and natural and seamless and popping and glamorous and perfect as possible, because when you do that, the rest of it is a breeze. Now, quick disclaimer, because this is a beginner's video that's titled Simple Makeup. And I know it's going to be some fool in the comment telling me about the lesson that I am bringing here today. Can you imagine? Like, people really have the audacity to tell you that you didn't teach your lesson that you came up with right. Like, it's just, it's crazy. But let me go ahead and address those haters right now, because I'll never address them in the comment section. They are simply blocked and deleted. So this video is not going to be 2 steps. I can't guarantee that you're going to get it or that you're going to find it to be easy. But beginner makeup does not necessarily mean quick. Just like 10-minute makeup may not necessarily mean 2 steps or 2 products, right? 10-minute makeup could mean 30 products really quickly. This is a beginner video that is going to be a full face of makeup. The name of the makeup look we are using is called a simple makeup look, okay? It's not a bold makeup look. It's not a sultry makeup look. It's not a bridal makeup look. It's not a prom makeup look. It's not a high fashion makeup look. It's not a couture makeup look. We aren't doing theatrical or vanguard or couture. It's not a Halloween makeup look. This isn't stage makeup. This isn't makeup for TV or film. This isn't airbrush. This isn't permanent. Hell, we ain't even doing advanced looks like cut, crease, and halo. So as you can see, makeup runs deep. All the way from beginner, kindergarten, introductory, to PhD, right? I could take you down the history of makeup. We could go through a timeline of makeup. So the term beginner, to be clear, it just means introductory. In these videos, I'm giving lots of tips, tricks. I'm teaching about technique. And the women who come here to actually pick up a few tips and learn some things, they come back and they send me a message and tell me, hey, you know what? I followed your tutorial. I followed your tips. My makeup game is better. I got so many compliments. They tell me this privately in the email. They tell me this publicly in the comment section. They're not here just trying to argue, and they don't want to fight, and they want to be friends. And if you don't, that's fine. But allow me to set the expectation right now so that you don't leave a comment saying, that's too much, or this isn't beginner friendly, or blah, 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 running your mouth and getting blocked. Let me go ahead and let you know right now that this is not about a little bit. So if you don't like a lot, then you can leave. This is not about 2 products or 2 steps. This is not about to take 10 minutes, okay? This is layers and layers and layers of makeup that we about to put on. It's about to look flawless, perfect, and you most likely could never. And you know how I know? Because you don't listen. When somebody try to teach you and show you, you start feeling insecure and talking about them and trying to make them feel bad and discourage them and try to make them be like you. You know, I'm not basic, okay? And you don't have to be, and you don't have to envy me because I'm not basic. But again, my beginner videos, they are simple, everyday looks. They're not like any of the previous looks I named, Halloween, theatrical. They're simple looks that can be worn on any and every day. It's not a special occasion look like New Year's Eve or your wedding. This type of makeup look is just a look that will look good on basically anybody. The beginner makeup videos, that's just a standard makeup look by eye shape, face shape, eye color, all of that, because That's more advanced, right? When we start considering people's personal features, that's when you get into the real artistry, enhancing that particular person's beauty. This look, it'll look good on basically anybody. And these are things that you pick up and learn and know when you have been in the industry as long as I have. All of my formal training, all of my experience, I pass on to you for absolutely free. And if you like to follow along and kind of free up your mind from thinking that simple means that it's going to be 2 steps, or simple means that you personally are going to be able to comprehend the lesson, if you expand your mind a little bit more, you may be able to pick up a few tips here, because I show a lot of things that are easy to work with. And being a beginner, that's something that you would want. You want products that blend easily, doesn't dry down too fast, products that you yourself can get your hands on, because some stuff is for professionals only, and you have to show that you are a licensed professional to be able to shop the brand. Everything is not available to the public. Some stuff is only available to professionals. You know, people who have actually took courses, passed courses, went on to take state exams, pay for the state exam, pass the state exam, obtain licensure from the state. All of that stuff is very valuable. It should not be discredited. Those are real sacrifices that people in the comment section who's telling me, the professional, what it is. Somebody who has been doing it longer than they've been born, probably, or just about. I've been in the beauty industry over 30 years because I started when I was just a little girl. So I'll never, ever, ever in a trillion years try to convince anyone about my knowledge, or convince anyone that I know what I'm talking about, or convince anyone that they should follow my advice, or convince anyone that this was beginner or this was a simple. I'm not like, if you know, sis, go off. Like, you already knew to use a depth sponge instead of a dry one. You already knew to use a powder puff instead of a brush. You know why to use a pressed powder instead of a loose powder? Okay, I mean, sure, go off, babe, go off. But that's the type of information that I give. So if you're looking for a quicker tutorial, check out some more of my videos. I have them on, or you can just visit another channel. Like, that's how we can do that. Like, we don't have to have a debate in the comment section, because it'll never be one. I'll never, ever, ever justify that I am an industry professional to you. User 50436-872. No picture, baby. Like, blocked and deleted. Goodbye. This is basic information. I'm explaining everything I do, and that's what makes it beginner. And if that's not like what you're looking for, I'm letting you know that now. Let's be real clear about what this video about to be, so that way you don't have to get blocked and deleted. And I know it's gonna be folk that don't feel like fat meat greasy, and you gonna try to cover shit and sugar and try to butter me up with some type of compliment first. KiKi, you're beautiful and you know your stuff, but blocked. As soon as you say but, as soon as you say however, and if it's not short and sweet, you got some long paragraph for me to try to tell me how I'm wrong, and how this video isn't for you, and how I'm not for you, and you know more than me. I don't have time. Not now, not ever. So in this simple beginner makeup video, if you're ready to learn tips and tricks and play in makeup and talk and get product recommendations and pick up on some new technique, stay tuned. Okay, so this is everything that we are using today. You know, I got my makeup bag prep ready to go, okay, with the LED 3-way dimmable mirror. I didn't get a chance to show you the mirror in the last video, but yeah, it's dimmable. It has 3 modes. All you do is long press to turn the intensity of the light up or down. And as far as the makeup bag, child, listen, I pretty much just have this sitting open on the vanity, ready for use, like ready to grab my stuff. I have makeup everywhere, as you can imagine. and just putting it, isolating what I'm going to use in the moment. I'm not fumbling, I'm not looking for stuff. Everything is right here in front of me, and I have just been loving it. Let me apologize because that's crazy. I jumped straight into the video. I'm sorry that I had to like put that little PSA out there, but you know, you watch YouTube, so you hear about how we complain about people in the comment section, and they just don't know that I'm just never going to engage with it, like ever in a million years. Like, they leave these comments and they try to sneak diss and, you know, slip something in, and or just outright mean or just outright disrespectful. And I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it in this video. I'm not gonna cut the comment section off on my videos. I'm not doing any of that. What I'm gonna do, and you know this if you watch my vlogs, what I'm gonna do is just block and delete. Like, I'll never ever spend time, you know, to type that person back or to read their comment. I already know when somebody is about to say something negative because they comment this long. They comment take up the whole phone. Like, it's not even short and sweet. You know what I mean? People who have something kind to say, they comment in short and sweet. Kiki, this was great. Kiki, I learned so much. Blah, blah, blah. They have a question or they have a comment. Like, I did my makeup like this last week and I looked so cute. Like, they're not, they don't, it's, all of this, baby, in the comment section, it'll never get read. And outright disrespect will never be tolerated. And, you know, backhanded compliments, covert narcissism, all that stuff, that I'm not gonna go through none of that in my life, in my comment section. None of it. I'm not tolerating any of it. I apologize that we had to start the video off that way, but I did just have to get that out there, so that people can know, so that I can set the expectation that this is not about 5-minute makeup. Like, when I make videos like that, that's what I title. And when I make a video saying simple makeup, that's because that's the name of the look. Say stuff in the comment like, this wasn't simple, this ain't beginner friendly, literally telling me what type of lesson I'm teaching. Hilarious. They think because it didn't meet their expectation in their mind that that's not what it is. I'm sorry. If you feel like driving on the highway for the first time is going to be a breeze, and it's not, that don't mean it's not called driving on the highway. Like, it's still called driving on the highway. And just because it did not meet your expectation of what you feel like driving on the highway would be, that's nobody's fault. Like, that's still the name of it. That's still what it's called. So this is called a simple makeup look. Whether you like that or accept that or not, that's the name of it. And I'm not here to convince anybody that that's the name of it. I got some new complexion products from Huda Beauty. I hear so much good things about her powders, right? Everybody knows that this one is an OG baddie, and this one, I have heard mixed reviews. I like it though, and I haven't worked with it much, but that's what we're doing today. So we are just focusing on complexion, and of course, if we're using the Huda Beauty powders, we got to use the Huda Beauty foundation too. And I'm going to use it straight too, because like, if you watch me, I always mix this because this is thick, okay? I always mix it, but for today, let's just go in straight Huda, because you know what I want? I want the layers. I want the thickness. I want the cake. I want it, okay? On purpose. Sure do. These products are absolutely beautiful. Huda know how to do some complexion products, okay? But yes, my dear, they are not medium coverage, they're high coverage, they're not sheer, but they are absolutely beautiful. So I did my skincare already, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to put a little bit of setting spray on. Somebody left a comment telling me that how she like layers her setting spray and primer really helps with creasing. So I'm going to set my face with this first, And I'm going to start playing with that, like my primers and setting spray, because girl, I really just do not like when makeup creases in my smile lines. So let's start off with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. And then I'm going to go in with my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. And I'm going to put a lot of this where I know I crease. I went to Sephora, okay, and of course they gave some samples. This is the Dior Forever New Iconic Hydrating Glow Foundation, 24-hour wear, 86% floor skincare base. Ooh, I love that. So pretty. I think that I'm gonna try this one right here. That one looks like it'll do me justice, and that is 5W. And this is the Makeup Forever HD Matte Skin Velvet, which, my dear, I already have. If you know, you know. Okay, this is well loved. And this is how it looks now. The packaging has changed. I'm not sure about the formula though. And these are some of the shades. All right, so now let's go ahead and go in with the foundation, girl. I'm gonna use the stippling method that I always do, just stamping and pressing this into the skin. And you see how pretty this is? Look at that. That's gorgeous. Let me tuck my shirt in. Let's go in and prime the eyelid. I'm gonna take my MAC paint pot in shade Laying Low, and I'm gonna prime my eyelids real quick. I'm taking a sponge and just patting it on. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of brow. I have been loving the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz Powder. This one is in shade Dark Brown. It really has been helping me like get that natural brow. You know, like Anastasia Beverly Hills, all of her stuff is just going to give you a natural brow. Like unless you're using something like the pomade or you're using a color that's just way too dark for you, you are going to have a natural looking brow using these products. So as of late, I just use the powder to kind of just fill in the hair on my brow and to get that nice and fluffy and puffy, because as you can see, I don't have much brow hair. But then I go in with the pencil to like draw the shape on and define the brow. Alright, now I'm going to go in with my MAC Pro Long Wear Concealer. This is in shade NC45. It's an oldie but goodie when it comes to beautiful, flawless complexion that is just not going to budge. MAC got you covered. So I'm just patting this on, and I'm using a light layer. And then if I need to, I can go back in and get more. This one is the Born This Way in Butterscotch. And this is a very thick concealer. So now I'm just patting this in. I didn't let this dry down at all. Like, I definitely got this blended out right away. And I used just a very small amount because we are going to go back in and use more layers of powder and concealer and all of that. So that's how you can keep your makeup looking very skin-like, is to just build up light layers each step. If you go in heavy at each step, that's when it's going to look cakey and like it's too much and not natural. And sometimes that's okay, depending on the result that you want. There are people who do their makeup very heavy because they're going to be under lights or they're going to be doing flash photography, and they really like the way that the heavy makeup looks photographed. In real life, you know, it will come across as like heavy because they did use a lot of makeup. Using heavy makeup on each step, it's just not gonna look natural and light and seamless and like, you know, in real life. Like, it's gonna look like you have on a lot of makeup. Me personally, I like to try to achieve that very delicate balance between my makeup looking good in real life and it also looking good in flash photography and on film and under all the lights. Like, it's a very delicate balance. TV makeup, Instagram makeup, that stuff is that looks very different in real life. It wouldn't fool you into thinking that it was skin and at all. It's not skin like at all. All right, so now I'm just gonna take a dry sponge and I'm gonna start patting out the edges on this concealer. And now I'm gonna go in with Born This Way, and this is in shade Warm Beige, and I'm gonna keep this just toward the inner and a little bit underneath the bag, a little bit on the tip of the nose, a little bit on the Cupid's bow, a little bit right here. All these products are very lightweight. Nothing actually feels heavy on the face. Like, none of this stuff feels heavy. Ooh, pretty. See, this is exactly where I feel like I be seeing the shadow. My little dark spot on the side of my nose, like my indentation on where my glasses sit. I feel like that be peeking through. And I feel like the bag casts such a huge shadow. I feel like it just I feel like it be looking so dark underneath my eye. And my thought is, if we can brighten it at the very end, when I start to feel that way, if we can use like a powder at the very end, that will fix it. So as you can see, I'm not taking this all the way over. I'm going to go back in with my sponge and blend out the edge. And then my Real Techniques brush. Alright, let's go ahead and set this again, because that's what my soul says to do. I'm going to set this before I go in with any powder. Damp sponge. This isn't beginner friendly. Oh, okay, so why did I just do that then? Tell me. You know. So we're going to set with the Laura Mercier. And we're doing this because we're just setting this right now. We're not baking, or this isn't like the finishing powder. We just don't want this underneath this eye to crease or move. And this step, we are pressing the powder in. The other, when we use the Huda, we're going to use that as powders to pretty much sit right on top. I mean, this is beaming bright. I don't see a shadow at all. I mean, this is so pretty. Let's go in now and do our contour and our bronzer. I'm going to start with the nose contour, and I'm just stamping this along because I don't really like my nose contour to be too narrow. Like, I did that in the past because you can really make it appear like you have a really pointy, slender nose. And I've done that, and I didn't like how it looked. It looked a little too artificial. Like sometimes in makeup, we do that. We bounce back and forth between what we like and what we don't like, and we try new products and new things and new techniques, and we try doing our makeup different ways, and we get into different things at different times. And I was into that contour for a set. It was very, very, very short-lived. So now let's go ahead and go in with our Easy Bake and Snatch Huda Beauty Powder, the loose one. And this is in shade Blondie. And I'm just patting using a sponge so that it can sit right on top of the skin. Now let's go into the most beginner friendly palette that I have, that is also an amazing price, so budget friendly. The Juvia's Place Coffee Shop palette. The mattes in this is so creamy and buttery and pretty. So I'm going to take my favorite brow bone highlight at the moment. This color I just love as a brow bone highlight. And I'm going to put that right under the highest point of my brow. And I'm not going to go all the way to the front. This is just for the highest point of the brow. Like, you have to be so strong to be a woman. Like, for real, for real. I was watching Tabitha Brown's video on perimenopause and menopause. Child. Ooh, child. First the cycle, then that. I said, Lord. When the Lord chose me to be female, oh child, he said, she can handle it because it's something else, honey. It's a doozy. I'm going to go in with a small brush on today. And I'm going to start just wiping this right up underneath that brow bone highlight. Just windshield wiping back and forth, starting right there. All right, then I'm going to take another small brush and we're going to go into a darker brown, and then we're going to go lower, raise the brow, go right here in this socket, like, and then I'm going to windshield wipe that. Now let's take this dark one here and start smudging the upper lash line. Pull it upward just a little bit toward the end. I'm just gonna tap into this orange from my Mirrored Makeup Blush Quad. Oh, this is the foundation brush, but it's doing just as good. Totally unnecessary, but let's tie in the wing and the liner. Okay, let's set one last time. Let's put a little bit of the inner corner highlight on now. This is the Girlactik eyeshadow pencil in shade Tensil. Take a little bit underneath. Let's go in with the Huda Beauty Easy Bake, the pressed, and let's brighten up the inner corner some. And I'm going to use a sponge to kind of pounce. And this is actually a wedge, so that we can get that nose extra chiseled, as well as lay this color down. And I bought this to be like a finishing powder. Now I'm going to go in with my ambient light. This is so nice. I wouldn't be me if I ain't put on a lash. This is the Mirrored Makeup in Style Success. Because the entire look is so mute, I decided to do a pop of color on the lips. This is so cute. I would totally do this lip for something fun, like a concert or something, girl. This is just so pretty. This is the finished look, boo. As you can see, my Success lashes fits perfectly underneath my glasses. It's like super classy, super dainty, super girly, and it gives the eye just enough pop. Like, it's so cute. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to join my free VIP community. It's all about beauty, makeup, skincare, fashion. You will receive content just like this straight to your inbox for the free. Click like, click share, click subscribe, and I'll be sure to see you on the next one.
I've been losing friends and finding peace. Honestly, that sound like a fake.